Well, thank you for joining us on this Monday morning for Chamber Talk. I'm Jason Strong, Director of the Fairfield Media Center, and everyone I think in Fairfield knows who Mendy McAdams is, the Director of the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce.
No, I've just learned there's lots of people who don't know who I am, and I am going to just make new best friends.
I don't know. I kind of find that hard to believe. You are like at every event going on and have fingers and hands and the workings of what makes Fairfield Fairfield. So
our chamber is very active. That's true.
So
we do all we can to support the community.
Speaking of which, I know in prior chamber talks, you mentioned how busy September is for the chamber. And so if you're not signed up for the chamber chatter and you want to be included and know what is going on in our community, go to fairfieldiowa.com, sign up and subscribe to the chamber chatter, which you'll get every Monday morning at 8 a.m., correct? Yep. And so, and then you'll also get access with a link that'll take you to the chamber talk that we're recording right now. So it all kind of goes out as one nice little sweet package.
Absolutely. It's got all the area events that are happening that week. Maybe they have an RSVP deadline or information that comes down the pipeline that are important to our small business owners or our businesses in general. The SBA, which we just met with yesterday, is going to start sending us some more stuff. We get stuff from SBDC, Department of Labor, IRS, all of those. So if we think that it's beneficial for somebody to know, we're going to put it in there.
Absolutely. So the Chamber of Commerce is a great resource to have at Fairfield's disposal, and Mendy is always making it happen. So get plugged in to the Chamber if you're not. But speaking of different events and whatnot, you have a guest today. So I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to you.
Well, you're going to ask questions too, because you always think it's questions I don't.
I try to pop in occasionally. I mean.
All right. So we have Deputy Angie Pohren.
That's me.
Okay. I was going to ask you how to say it before, and then I was like, my assistant told me a way to remember. So good job. We got it right.
Excellent.
And you have a wonderful event, which I believe strongly in female empowerment. And so this is right up that alley. So you tell me all the things we need to know about your event.
Okay. Well, I'll get started a little bit about how this came to light.
Absolutely.
I got to give a shout out to my coworker, Deputy Mark Miller. He probably won't be super excited for me to talk about him, but he is how this ball got rolling. So he, in his personal experience, was seeing or hearing about incidences that were affecting friendships and then his personal friends, and then also, work-based, with women being put into dangerous situations. And so he called me one day and said, we need to get some training to educate women on being safe. And I said, whatever I can do to help, I'm in. And he went online, he researched some guest speakers, and he found Dawn Armstrong from Think Safe Seminars. And she's from Arizona. She's the founder of that company. And we got her here with the help of grant money funded by the foundation grant.
Greater Jefferson County Foundation, one of our local nonprofit, also a chamber member. We love them. They support wonderful events. So tell me about the training that you're doing on September 9th. It's at 5:30 at the Elks on the square.
Sure. So it covers things like situational awareness, non-escalation, de-escalation, and violence protection. Or prevention, sorry. So it's a lot about being proactive in noticing things with these skills instead of reactive. A lot of times we tend to think that, someone does not have ill intentions, or, it's something you can just write off as far as, things that should be red flags. And it's just recognizing those and paying attention to them. So you're proactively keeping yourself safe instead of being surprised later. But yeah, and just empowering women specifically to use those skills and feel comfortable to do so.
So this is geared towards female business owners and females who work in business, but it is open to the general public.
Absolutely. It does not have to be just a business owner. It can be anyone. And Dawn even, she was open to having, men attend too, because this can affect, both genders. It's
Absolutely.
Safety is safety.
right.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
And we are not the fairer species. We're just the prettier.
It's true. It's true.
I'd have
So
to agree.
situational awareness. So I had a stalker when I was younger, and situational awareness is huge. And I actually
Yes.
took a class in it. My parents made me take it because I was still a teenager, and it is amazing when you walk out your building and you're on your phone already, or you're just not paying attention. Those things that can happen really quickly.
Yes. Yes. It's even, I'm not immune to it, and I'm in a occupation where you would think that no one would mess with the sheriff's deputy, but it is, I as well. You have social media now that is a big factor in some of these dangers too, and I am not immune to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you get comfortable and you get complacent
Yes.
in your surroundings.
Yes.
Places you always go, places you're always at, and things like that. So it's really easy for you to just kind of go into
Right.
autopilot and think everything's fine because I'm always here. This is
Yeah.
one of my routines, and that's where you can run into those problems.
Yes, and society has taught us, people, you see the best in people, and they probably meant nothing, and you're supposed to be nice, and and it's not working necessarily in this day and age. You don't have to make everyone a suspect, but it's good to be proactive
and being aware.
and being aware. Yes,
It's kind of that small town mentality, right? 'Cause
Yes.
nothing's going to happen. We're in Fairfield.
right.
But
Yeah, this
you
is
read
Fairfield.
it.
Nothing happens
You
in
read it in the
Fairfield.
paper all the time.
that or
you know.
people are afraid to say anything.
Absolutely.
And
See something, say something.
yes, yep,
So your expert is from Arizona, so that's
correct.
exciting.
Yes.
And so, what are you expecting for folks? Should they come prepared to do things, or just dress regularly?
Just dress how you would normally dress. It will be interactive. There will be some materials that you'll hand out. It will be more like breakout sessions with small groups than getting up and, it's not just physical
We're not kicking a
stuff.
dummy.
No, we're not. She has some
Yeah.
martial arts background if you go to her website, but no, it's mostly just breakout groups and having discussions about these issues and the things that you can do or the tools that she's going to provide.
Okay, so if somebody wants to take the class, they do need to RSVP,
Yes.
and
Yes.
they RSVP by.
There are flyers hung up. There are QR codes that are on the flyer. Some have had a little bit of issues with that QR code.
Yep.
So if they're having issues with that, they can email me. My email's at the bottom of the page, or my email is, I don't know if you want me to say it out loud
Go
here.
ahead. Yep.
It's rather long, but it's Pohren, Pohren, at JeffersonCoiowa.com.
Perfect, and that'll be on the
It's still
team.
not quite as long as the Fairfield Media Centers, so but understandable.
Yes. Yes,
and
yes.
we'll have it on the bottom of the screen here, and so that way it's
Good.
easily readable.
Good.
And it'll be coming out in Chamber Chatter. It'll be coming out in another separate e-blast. We're going to tell everyone because we want to make sure our business owners and our ladies are safe.
I appreciate it so much. I couldn't ask for better help in advertising this and getting it out, and I appreciate you guys' support.
Absolutely. Jason, are you going to go to the class? I feel like you need to make sure you're safe.
I've been to several self-defense classes. Plus, I had an uncle who taught me self-defense who was in the military.
Oh.
And so
I won't mess
I
with
feel
him
pretty
anymore.
confident in my ability. Plus, I'm a really big guy. And so generally, I have a feeling that if somebody's going to come at me, they're going to have a weapon. It's not going to be something innocent and I'm not going to, see coming. You guys were talking about situational awareness. I'm huge on that. I go into a restaurant, I sit in a certain spot, I sit in certain, type thing. But my kids have struggled learning to be situationally aware.
Right.
And just joking all aside, I've tried to teach them to be so, aware of their surroundings by like jump scaring them occasionally, and
Oh,
I
God.
think all I've done is traumatize them because they're still not situationally aware.
They're never going to leave the house.
Well,
So if you or someone you know want to attend, please make sure and sign up for this. We want to make sure that everybody feels safe in our community.
absolutely.
And we want to thank Jefferson County, the Greater Jefferson County Foundation, for funding this because it is huge and it's wonderful. And on Friday, come out to Barnyard Bash,
I was going
4
to
to
say
7.
that's right around the corner here. So.
Yeah, we're down into the 4 days in the weeds with it, and some fun new things this year. We will be having lemonade shake-ups, so if you want to come shake some lemonade, so those will be available. It'll be $5 for the first cup, $3 for refills, and the chamber is selling that, and that just goes to continue make sure that event keeps coming. And
Sustainability.
we are going to have a silent pie auction with pies made from the Fairfield Women's Club and other area residents. So I'm very
Awesome.
excited for that.
Also, are there any more volunteer
Opportunities,
opportunities open?
Absolutely, because the Mauston Barns is hosting the American Barn Tour the next morning, so we need to
wow.
make sure that we are set ready for that barn tour the next day.
So volunteers, if you want to volunteer, if you need volunteer hours, if you're a high schooler or whatnot, reach out to the Chamber of Commerce. Like I said, you guys always have something in the works that's going on that you guys need help with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you for being here, Angie.
Thank
We're
you for
so
having me.
glad that you could come and join
This
us.
was great.
Thank you guys for watching. Again, get plugged into the Chamber of Commerce at fairfieldiowa.com, and we'll see you guys next week.